Spotted Horses is a novella written by William Faulkner in 1931. Faulkner, recognized as one of the most significant American authors of the 20th century, originally published Spotted Horses in Scribner's magazine and later incorporated it into his 1940 novel, The Hamlet. The story revolves around a con artist who convinces his neighbors to purchase wild horses, leading to chaos and upheaval in their community. Faulkner skillfully combines a Southern slice-of-life narrative with a compelling moral allegory, exploring themes of greed and disorder in the human condition. The novella is divided into 3 sections, with the first section opening on the outskirts of Yoknapatawpha County, a fictional setting frequently used by Faulkner in his works. The townsfolk, including V.K. Ratliff, observe an unnamed Texan who presents a group of unruly yet magnificent horses. Rumors circulate that the horses belong to Flem Snopes, a prominent local figure and notorious womanizer. The horses are scheduled to be auctioned the following day. The Texan remains composed despite the horses' unruliness, downplaying their wild nature. Even when one of the horses nearly inflicts a severe blow, tearing the Texan's vest, he maintains his composure. The Texan claims that the horses are merely lively and assures everyone that they can be easily tamed, although Ratliff remains skeptical. The auction commences when the Texan offers Snopes a free horse to start the bidding. At that moment, Henry Armstead and his wife pass by in a wagon. Fueled by jealousy and anger at missing out on a free horse himself, Henry stubbornly bids their family's last $5, which his wife had earned and saved for their children's winter shoes. Henry wins the bid, but Mrs. Armstead pleads with the Texan not to accept the $5. Initially ignoring her, the Texan begins to feel compassion for the wife after witnessing more of Henry's foolish behavior. Against Henry's protests, the Texan agrees to return the $5, acknowledging Mrs. Armstead's desperate plea. However, Flem Snopes intervenes and confiscates the $5, confirming suspicions that he is the true orchestrator of the deceitful auction, not the Texan. The Texan assures Mrs. Armstead that she can reclaim her money from Flem the following morning. After Flem and the Texan leave, Henry, and the other horse owners gather with a line of ropes to handle their newly acquired animals. However, chaos ensues when the horses, in response to the notion of submission, go completely wild. One of the men forgets to secure the gate to the enclosure, sealing the scene's descent into pandemonium. The horses break through the gate, violently collide with Henry, rendering him unconscious, and then charge at the wagons that had foolishly stopped for the auction. Amidst the wreckage of overturned wagons, one horse even crashes through Mrs. Littlejohn's front door. Unfazed by the commotion and busy with her laundry, Mrs. Littlejohn swiftly subdues the thrashing animal by striking it in the face with her washboard before men arrive to chase it away. Meanwhile, and his son pursue their horse to a narrow bridge, where it collides with 2 mules and a wagon carrying the Tull family. Amidst the ensuing chaos, the mules break free from the wagon and drag Mr. Tull, causing severe injuries. The horse finally escapes, with and his son giving chase. In the second section, 2 days have passed since the incident. A group of townsfolk, including Ratliff, and son, gather in Bump Snopes' store to discuss the auction and its aftermath. They debate the extent of Flem's involvement in the con. Some argue that Flem couldn't be responsible because his own relative, bid at the auction and suffered greatly while trying to retrieve his horse. Others contend that Flem is so unscrupulous that he would deceive anyone, even his own kin. Characterized by exaggerated exaggeration and skillful contrast, the dialogue in this section showcases Faulkner's renowned Southern humor, which is both peculiar and rhythmic. As Flem arrives, a desperate Mrs. Armstead follows him, seeking her $5. Flem refuses, claiming that he returned the money to the Texan, who has since disappeared. Instead, he offers Mrs. Armstead a bag of candies for her children. While she accepts the gesture as an act of kindness, Flem's true intention is to boast to his friends about his cunning nature. He theatrically places 5 cents on the clerk's table to pay for the candies, emphasizing his ability to erase a $5 debt with a 5-cent purchase. The townsfolk react with a mixture of disgust and awe at Flem's ability. In the third section, the narrative jumps ahead in time to depict 2 court cases, Mrs. Armstead versus Flem Snopes and Mrs. Tull versus Snopes. It was horse that caused severe injuries to Mr. Tull on the bridge. Faulkner employs notable irony in the resolution of each case. Since there is no solid evidence that Flem orchestrated the auction or that he still possesses the $5, the judge dismisses Mrs. Armstead's case against Flem. Simultaneously, because the Texan gave Eck the horse for free, there is no proof of ownership, absolving Eck of liability for Mr. Tull's injuries. In fact, the judge determines that the only property Mrs. Tull is entitled to by law is the horse that caused all the damage in the first place. In summary, the judge rules that the only individuals with any legal responsibility for the two horses are the two women who want nothing to do with them. Ultimately, Spotted Horses is a humorous yet contemplative tale that employs humor, irony, and poetic language to pose questions about the nature of destiny, the concept of luck, and whether individuals shape their own fortunes or are subject to the whims of random chaos. The book's titular unpredictable beasts, on one hand, reinforce the notion that it is wiser for individuals to accept the capricious nature of the universe rather than attempting to exert control over it. This is exemplified by Ratliff, who remains passive as the horses wreak havoc on the lives of his friends. On the other hand, characters like Flem and the Texan propose that individuals can, in fact, manipulate their own destinies and the destinies of others, but only by adopting an equally callous and indifferent attitude toward humanity as the universe itself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.